Okay, in this session we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to talk about content, specifically curated content and how to find it. You're going to spend a lot of time doing this because you got to know what kind of articles to put on your site. Editorial articles, curated content. We're going to talk about all that good stuff in here. So take lots of notes. So what we're going to cover is what is curated and editorial content, what is it exactly, what is, why you always need to cite your source, what types of content we're looking for, because there's a specific type, where to find your sources, and how often to pull from the same source. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about original content. So what is curated editorial content? Well, this came about, it's always been around the internet, but became very popular. I saw it originally many years ago from a site called Slashdot. Slashdot.org is one of the kind of like original sites that started doing this a long time ago, where people started reporting on different news articles. In fact, it was kind of a phenomenon that if your site got listed on Slashdot or talked about, that your servers went down because there was so much traffic that went to it. They're kind of one of the very first sites that ever started doing this that I'm aware of. But basically, it's a blog or website where the content is not your own original content. You're just blogging about other people's contents or stories, and you're kind of putting your own twist and spin on it. Editorial, you're an editor, you're a blogger, you're giving opinion, you're reporting. Almost all content online is curated these days, and most websites are fine if you do it, for the most part. Some are not, and some will specifically say not to. However, they love to have their content out there because you're linking to their site and you're letting other people know about it. However, some of them say no, absolutely not. But here's the cool thing. Most of these sites that have content they're just curating other people's content. So what I generally do is track it down to the original source. Let me give you an example for this. Let's go to Little Things. We always go to Little Things, right? Let's go to parenting. So we'll go to this article here on parenting here, and we'll see if we can track it down. It's a video. Okay, so they shared this video here, and I'll do a little search on it. And usually what I'll do is I'll just look for where they're citing their sources. And sometimes Little Things doesn't always cite their sources.
Well, kids have been kicked out of class.
That's actually a station here in Utah. So what I generally do is I just go right to YouTube.
Ask for things like review.
And then I look at the source that it came from. Girl gets kicked out of school for dyeing her hair. So it's interesting. A lot of these you have to do just a little discovery, but you can usually find out where they come from. So basically, Little Things just found this video on YouTube, and this is from a news station. So what I will generally do is I'll try to go and try to even find even a little bit further where it went to. These guys posted this here on YouTube, and it's got 89,000 views. So sometimes what can happen is these guys can take some content and they post it on their page and then on YouTube channel, but then it gets taken off. So I'll do a little bit more research sometimes, and I'll just try to find the original source, but sometimes I'll just have to go for the original source. So what I love about this is now I found this article on Little Things, and I can go write my own editorial piece, and I don't even have to mention Little Things. So that's like the easiest way to do it. I always try to go back to the original source as possible, and that actually happens to be 2 News here in Utah, so I could probably actually go to their website and figure it out. And sometimes these guys on YouTube will actually cite their original sources as well. So there you go. That's how you quickly go back to the original source. So here's the thing. A lot of sites are very protective of their content, and they will ask you to take it down. So for example, if I went to Little Things and I reported this article and I used their exact same picture and I said, hey, I got this from Little Things, they're probably going to contact me and say, I don't want you to do that. In fact, I know for a fact, if you go to about Little Things, they even have a thing that says, hey, want to use our content? Or it's under, they changed it just recently. But if you go in here, it has a thing about wanting to use their content, and you have to, basically, they're really kind of highly discouraging you from using just their specific content. I can't see it right now, but usually it's just at the bottom of the page. They're changing their site around all the time. Actually, let me just see if I can find it here really quick. It might just be down on their home page. I don't know, they usually have a yellow thing down here that says you want to use our content. So what I generally find is I find a really good article, and then I'll just go find the original source and blog about it. And that's all they're doing at the end of the day. But if somebody asks you to remove your content, you got to do it. In fact, I need you to show you this. So if I were to go to your website, and I'm just going to go to one of my websites here, there is DCMA. So on your website, there's a thing that says, hey, here's our DCMA removal policy, and this is how you do it. So, hey, we'll be happy to remove your content. If you don't like it, we're following all the rules. But if you don't want us to use it, fill out this form, and then they'll come in and they'll fill this out and then remove it. And that's why you need to have an address as well. Now, you need to really respect these, and some people are going to ask you to remove their content. Now, sometimes people ask you to remove their content without warrant, and if you're not citing a different source, and if you've been pretty good about it, you can ignore those. But if you really have used somebody else's content, even though you've reblogged about it, they've asked you to remove it, you may need to remove it. So just always give them the option to remove it. Here's the big thing. Don't rip off other people's content. Don't copy them exactly. Don't use the same photos that they've used. You can use a few of them, but you need to cite it back to the original source. Always try to make it your own if you can, or just use a few of their photos, but always cite their source. Don't copy their words. That's when you get into trouble. You got to rewrite it in your own. You need to have about 80% of your own, and the rest can be quoted and rewritten content. And like I said, it is okay to quote, and make sure you cite the source. Don't rip off other viral site system members. Okay, a lot of you, we're going to be working with each other in here, sharing each other's sites and our content, and if you are caught, it's not cool. You'll get banned from VSS. A lot of us are going to write on the same topics or articles, but make it your own. Use different pictures. You signed an NDA and you promised that you wouldn't do that. So it's not cool, guys. But, here's the bottom line. A lot of us are going to be writing on some of the same articles. Just make it your own. But don't rip each other off. It is important. Did I talk about citing the source? It is important that everyone cite their source with their article, and I'll show some examples of that. Okay, so we talked about don't ripping off the content. All right, so now, here we go. Always cite your source. It protects you from breaking copyright. Well, kinda. You still might be breaking copyright if you're just copying them verbatim, but you need to always cite your source. For example, let's go back to our website here on About All Things. Oops, here we go, About All Things. Okay, so, oops, we didn't go there. Aboutallthings.com. Okay, so we go to our site here. Let me show you where we cite all of our sources. So we'll go to this article about the father that has Alzheimer's that sings. So built into your theme, which is going to look very similar, is your source. And that source, if you look there, it links it. And I got that original thing right from their Facebook page, Song a Minute right here. And these guys are actually really cool. They do a lot of cool things. And these guys love this because it brings people back and gives them links to their sites. So these guys love it. But I also want to do a source inside the picture. Okay, so let me show you how this works. Okay, I'm going to go to the mobile version of this, and that's by hitting F12. Okay, notice how it says source the Song a Minute Man in Facebook. However, I don't link from it right there because I don't want people clicking on the link here in the picture, but I'm citing the source and they can go back through the article. Occasionally you'll get someone, especially people with like recipes and stuff, like if you're just totally blatantly ripping off someone's recipe, they'll come back and say, hey, you know, take that off your site. So it's like a fine balancing act to make it your own. And then what I always do is I credit their content and their photos. But this is the secret. I build them up and I encourage people to go to the original site. Let me show you an example on one of these. If I go into food here and I go to this easy 3-ingredient fudge, paleo and vegan friendly thing. So I talk about, hey, I found this awesome site over at Veggies and the Beast Feast, and go totally visit these guys. They guys have an awesome recipe. And then what I usually do is I basically say, hey, I made this recipe because I did, and I changed it a little bit. I made it a little bit more healthier, and this is what I did. And so I've got the recipe in here. And hey, for the complete directions and mouth-watering photos, please visit Veggie and Beast. Katie has a great site and many more yummy, healthy recipes. So usually these guys are pretty cool when we do it that way, and occasionally they'll come back and say, yeah, we don't want you to do that. It's kind of hilarious though, because sometimes I'll get a viral post going and I'll get like hundreds of thousands of people visiting this page, and I'm getting them a lot of traffic, and then they'll contact me and say, hey, take it down. And I will many times say, I will be happy to take it down. I want you to realize I'm sending you a ton of traffic. So if I take it down, that traffic will stop. And sometimes they come back and they go, oh, okay. Because a lot of them don't realize it, that they're getting a lot of traffic from you. So let's shift focus now and talk about what types of content we're actually looking for. We're looking for content that gets shared and commented on, period. Because those are proven articles that, you know, people share in content. We're looking for people that evoke an emotion. What kind of, you know, happy, sadness, excitement, curiosity, anger. We're looking for something that someone wants to go share. Evergreen is the best type of content. We've talked about that before. So let's go, you know, talk about the sources. This is the part that that you want to do. So first of all, what you want to do is create a source document with your finds. So you want to create some kind of document, some kind of tracking system where you can always just go find your sources on whatever topic. So you can keep track of this any way you want. You can do a Google document. You can just do bookmarks in your browser. I'll just let you decide how you want to do it, what's the easiest way. You could also create your own little private Facebook groups and or Facebook pages that you only have access to, and you can put them in there. But this is how I do it. I just make it really easy. So for, you know, about all things, I'm just starting a new document. So I've got life, I've got food, I've got pets, you know, and I've got different things. So that's all I'll do. So here's, I just want to be able to keep track of these now. All right, so let's I'll show you exactly where we find our sources. So one of the first places we go to is Facebook trending. Whenever you log into Facebook, there's this trending, and right there, there's just all kinds of things. B. Arthur, Go Topless Day, Hurricane Irene, the 70s show, that you can go to top trends, politics, science and technology, sports, entertainment. So let's go to science and technology. And I can just hit learn more, and it's going to tell me more about, it tells about how it does the trending. Okay, so it might be beneficial for you to go to read that. So it's only showing me these things trending. Let's go into just the top trends right here. Let's go find out about, I don't know, why are people talking about, you know, B. Arthur or Lake Powell, Go Topless Day, Hurricane Irene. Let's go into Jenna Lee. I don't know much about that. So this is things about, you know, daredevil couple climbs a volcano to take wedding photos in front of lava. Could that be true? All right, now that looks like it would be probably a pretty interesting viral topic. So you can you start kind of just following some of these and see what they are. And I'll tell you a little strategy here. So a lot of people will do this, and they'll go and they'll find the trending topics and they'll try to get something viral right then. But where I kind of have a different opinion. What I do is I find something, and I don't necessarily need it to go viral that day, but what I found is when something goes viral, people are interested in it and they'll talk about it later. So I don't necessarily need to talk about it right now. So this was something according to the Huffington Post. So you can read about this. I kind of wonder if this is even really true, because it's pretty hot lava. So I always kind of, research my sources as well. So there we go. That's what's trending there. Let's go to politics. You can see all kinds of stuff in politics. These stars have married in secret. Proof that, there's all kinds of news stories in here. But what you're looking, this is what you're looking for. You're looking for shares and comments. Shares and comments. 5.8 thousand people, and then all these comments and all these shares. That's what you're looking for. Things that get shared a lot. Okay, so you could lose yourself in, all kinds of things there. Okay, so let's go back here. This is one I really like. Ooh, let's go back up here. Reddit. I love this site. Reddit is awesome because it's kind of in beta right now. You can quickly find things that are trending. So let's just go and, I don't know, let's just type in cat. Cat. And we'll see kind of like what right now is really trending in the cat world. And it'll mainly pulls up a lot of videos. It kind of takes a little bit. I've noticed that the site's a little bit slower, but it'll tell you how many shares, how many tweets, everything is getting. So many times your results are kind of interesting, and it pulls up these different videos, and sometimes they're not related to the keyword that you put, like pussycat dolls when I grow up and that. So sometimes you have to be a little bit more specific. Let's try another result here and see what we get. So what I did is I went ahead and searched for like dog rescue, and I chose all media, all time, and then Facebook shares. So it's kind of interesting how many results you'll find. You'll find all kinds of videos and that of things and articles of of hot topics. So you just start searching away, and look at this one. Brave cat stands up to mountain lion. Cat, look at that, 22,000 shares. So you can find a lot of good articles. Dog rescued after being shot, tied to railroad tracks. There's all kinds of things. Let's go search for some more. So this one's interesting. I typed in mother saves son from mauling by mountain lion in Colorado. It's from Reuters. 27 shares. It hasn't had a whole lot, and they do a score. But I think it's interesting is many times you can take an article, even if it hasn't been shared a whole lot, you can take something that's been interesting, rebrand it, and it can go viral. I've seen this happen many times. So this one I did a little bit more general search, and this I just searched for mom. Look at this, 2 million shares. David after dentist. Let's watch this one.
Yeah, I know. How did it go?
It didn't feel anything.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so you can watch all of these. You can spend a lot of time. 10 things your mom never told you. Huffington Post. And so there's all kinds of things, and you can just look at these videos. So many times you'll be finding things, and you'll find things, and you'll find other articles for things that you want to do. 19 vintage Easter bunny photos that will make your skin crawl. All those kind of things. See. So anyway, so you can kind of get an idea of shares. I really like this site. Have fun with Reddit. Next thing is Reddit. Okay, Reddit is kind of probably the original thing that people started doing. I'm not going to explain Reddit, but like just a ton of people spend time in Reddit, and you can see and you can do search for like new different things that are rising. One thing that is good is you can just my jar of mayo says best if used by Mayo. So it's kind of interesting to see what people post in here, and many times you can find really cool things and do original content. sculpture made out of old tires. So you can kind of do some things. You can just get lost here in Reddit. But what's nice is you can go into these subreddits, and let's go into food, for example. And my boyfriend asked for a man-wich, but I did better. Made him a version of a sloppy joe, made with half-ground chuck sirloin. So you can kind of go and get articles from here, and you can blog your own stuff. And you can kind of get some ideas of what is kind of trending in that as well. So you can spend a lot of time over at Reddit, and you can even create some searches. And yeah, you can spend a lot of time here in Reddit. BuzzSumo is kind of one of the original tools that I started using, and then they only let you do so many topics per day. You can get a subscription to this, but it found some really good stuff. I hit my daily limit just before I was making this demo, so I don't have a subscription to this, but I've had one in the past. I've kind of found that you can get a lot of it from Reddit though, and from some of these other sources, but BuzzSumo is really good. Tumblr is really good. I'm not even going to try to explain what Tumblr is, but a lot of people spend a lot of time on it. But you can go to the trending topics, and you can find some just kind of what's the trending things, and kind of see what's going on. It gives you kind of like ideas. Why Donald Trump avoids talking about his daughter, you know. This is a little Strange Things is a really kind of cool movie that's happened on Netflix right now that it's happy, and that a lot of people are watching. This cat with a pizza. I mean, just you can kind of get an idea of things that are, you know, trending right now, and give you a little ideas to find articles. Wikipedia Trends is a really good one. You can see the different things that are trending out on Wikipedia. Like I said, here's Stranger Things. So you can get an idea of some of the things that people are interested in. So the other thing is Google Trends. This one's been used a long time. It's probably one of the oldest one, Google Trends. Here we go. You can see the different things that are trending right now. And you can go into these and dive into them a little further. So there's a tornado in Ohio. So many times you can find some cool stories. But let me, YouTube is one of the other great places you can find viral videos. If you just go into YouTube and just go to trending, you're going to see all kinds of videos, and it's updated just like almost a minute. I don't know what this dying is. You have to be kind of careful about some of these videos. Like it's a prank video that could be kind of cool. Britney Spears lip syncing. You can find a lot of good trending videos in here. The Dog Purpose official trailer. It's really good. DIY string art. So a lot of great places in YouTube. I spend a lot of time in there. But I'm going to show you some of the two things that I use the most to find my viral articles, and that's other viral websites. So, and by the way, as you're finding all these articles and when you find a good source, put them in here. So, for example, if I go to other viral websites, so say I go to let's go to Godvine. Where's Godvine? I thought I had it open here. Let's go bring it open here, godvine.com. Godvine has a lot of great articles as well. And so I can go through here, and what's nice about these is I can go through these articles and I can see how many people are commenting, and I can usually just find some really good articles, and usually if these guys are posting about it, then it's a hot one, and then I can just go back to the original source. So if I just look at Godvine and I go to this teacher follows her dream with powerful addition, I can just hit play and I can just go to YouTube. Man, I'm glad Affleck pays. Said America's Got Talent. So, you know, I could just curate their content. I don't have to even go mention Godvine. So I spend a ton of time just on other people's sites and look for things. And then I'll show you the next thing here. that I have that will show you how to know if something's really good, and that's I go to their Facebook page. So Facebook pages is probably the top. Other viral sites and Facebook pages are probably the top two ways that I find viral articles. So for example, I'll go number one in general, and I'll search for a topic like hairstyles, and I'll look at some of these, and I look, that's 24 comments, 505 likes. I'll just look for things that have a lot of comments and a lot of likes. So this one's, there was a couple on here that showed up when I was first looking at this that had quite a few. There's only 61,000 people that like this page. Let's go to Godvine though. So this is how you know when things are trending or someone has a really good article. 1.4 thousand likes, 86 shares. That's pretty decent. But all you do is just spend a little time going down through here, and you can just tell which ones have gone viral. Look at this one right there. That one has gone very viral. Okay, 4,000 shares on that. Elizabeth Smart, another person from Utah. That one is 327 shares. It's pretty good. This one's got 100 shares. 320. What you're looking for is the ones that have like thousands and thousands of shares. So look, they're posting things from Little Things. They probably have a deal with Little Things where they make a certain amount of revenue share as well. So I just look at that. It's got 1,000 shares. So let's go look at that article, and it's just a video. And a lot of times they could be getting these videos from
is
other
introducing
places.
their new Upgrade Your Adventure program. Choose from a large selection of motorhomes.
And there's the source right there. They just list the source. So I just go back to the original source, and I never even have to worry about going to Godvine or anything like that. Let's go to another page. Little Things is a perfect example. So find a page that has a ton of followers, and just go look and see how many times things have been shared, and then you can just make it your own. Sometimes it takes a little bit, and just scroll down and you'll find that's got 1,652 shares. Okay, awesome. Okay, that's pretty simple. It's not too hard to actually define curated content. So again, all of that you want to create in a document, and once you find some good sources that you're going to go to, just put them down in a document, and then just go to them constantly and just grab the article. So get like 50, 60 different sources that you like to go to, and then you'll be set. You'll never run out of content. But the question is, how often do you pull from those sources? So here's the thing. I always try to go to the original source, but if I am gonna just take an article from like a major website, Huffington Post or whatever, and I'm gonna, make an editorial post, I try not to do that more than about once every 6 articles, or even some of those larger websites. If I'm gonna actually cite the Huffington Post, maybe like twice a week, 3 times a week, no more than that. If it's original sources, if it's off of YouTube, I do it all day long. But I make sure you source the person on YouTube. So if it's this person right here, DIY String Art.
2016 JD Power Awards for initial quality and dependability than any.
So if I was going to cite this source, I wouldn't just say this came from YouTube. I say it's come from Threadbanger via YouTube. So always credit the actual source of that person. And then, what you ought to look at, you ought to look and say, man, these guys have 3 million people that subscribe to this channel. Well, they got to have something pretty good in this. So that's another thing that I do, is I subscribe to a lot of channels of people that have a lot of viral videos and stuff. So, and then I'll get a lot of ideas from these as well. So anyway, these guys are, rocking and rolling. I mean, you can, once you've kind of figured out your top 30, 40 sources from, you're never going to run out of articles to curate on. Let's talk about the last thing, is original content. Now, you can create your original content. This can take longer, but it also can be more rewarding for you because it's your content. And then you have to worry about people curating your content, which is actually not a bad thing. It's actually a good thing. But it can take longer, and it can set you apart from the rest. So we've definitely done that. I've done some original articles, and it has done really well for us. It's faster to curate other people's contents, of course. And so we're going to recommend that you kind of do a mixture of both. Curate other people's content first before you do your own original content. Well, that's it. That's all about curated content and how to find it. And you're going to get better at it. And, you know, the one thing I was going to say is sometimes you think that an article is going to be awesome and it just never takes off. And other times you're going to have one that just takes off and you don't know why. A lot of it has to do with the titles that you use. A lot of it has to do with the photos that you use. And in the video where I go through where I'm going to talk about how to actually post them, I'm going to spend a lot of time talking about titles and pictures and how to test different things, and you're going to love it. So that's it. That's how you grab your content.